All right, so welcome. I am so excited to introduce you to one of our students. Jan Marx has been with Self-Made You for, let's see, probably 16, 20, 24-ish weeks, something around there. And I really think you are going to love her story. She has a lot to share. One of the things that really we wanted to dive into together was to broaden her understanding of what it is that she needed to do different in order to lose the weight. I know that before we started working together, she was dealing with a lot of frustration. So, Jan, welcome. Thank you so much for agreeing to be here and to share your story. I would love for you to just tell people a little bit about your story because it is so interesting and kind of set the stage for what your life looked like when we first started working together.
Okay. So, I'm never one that had issues with weight until really 2009 when I lost my, big job. Or to me, it was a big job because I'd been there for 30 years. And then everything just started. I think I didn't feel depressed, but I was just disappointed. And so I guess I just started eating. And finally, I retired at the end of December, and I knew I was moving where I would be playing golf a lot. And I thought, you know what? I can't fit into my golf clothes. I mean, I could, but they didn't look very good. So I knew, and this has been going on probably for about 8 months prior to when I wanted to retire, that I tried to figure out different ways. What can I do to lose the weight? And I just didn't know how to do it. And it wasn't a huge amount. I really wanted to lose about 20. I was thinking 20 pounds. I ended up losing about 30 pounds. So with Tracy, so I figured, well, I don't have that much to lose, but I couldn't even do that. So that's really what got me started. And then, yeah, I think that's what got me started thinking, wanting to do it.
It was wanting to fit into, the old clothes that you had so that you could get out and golf and do all the things that you love and feel good about yourself. You took this program on at the same time that you were making a really big move, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'd already started, my scale was packed. I was moving in about 3 weeks. I was leaving where I was in Chicago, moving to Hilton Head, and still working. I was going to work remotely for the last quarter. So there was just a lot going on. I was getting ready to work. I was getting ready to move my territory to another sales rep. So I was preparing for that, starting somewhere new where I really knew my realtor, because the people that I knew when I was coming to here have since relocated to DC. So my first friends were gone. So it was just, there was a lot, it was like, is this going to work out? Am I doing the right thing? Is my house, in a good spot? It was a lot of that going through my head.
Yeah. And a lot of people join the program under the kind of the blanket or the cloud of a whole lot of emotions because they've been kind of waging this war inside of their head with a lot of judgment of I should have, I could have. And on top of that, you also were dealing with a moving to a place where you didn't know anybody, not having any resources like a scale available to you. So tell me, like, what were the first couple weeks like for you? Like, paint the picture of how you got started. What was the first couple weeks like for you, and how long did it take you to kind of get into the groove?
So when I first started, after speaking with you, I decided, okay, I'm going to give this a go. And so I didn't have a scale out, and I honestly didn't want to weigh myself because I didn't think it was going to work. I just didn't want to know. So, what I weighed. So it was almost a good thing that was packed. So the first week, we had your guidance on what to do, no snacking. I can't even remember what it is anymore. I think it was no snacking.
Yep. That was the first week. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And so I did that, and you would say, no, you can't have the chocolate covered almonds, put them away. And as I told Tracy the other day, they're still I still have them, but I haven't opened them up, but they're in my pantry here. And then this, so I did that the first week. Tracy, every day you talk to Tracy, via Marco Polo or whatever it is. So she'd give you positive reinforcement and support. So, okay, I can do that. And then the next week, it was no sugar and no flour, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved on to the third week and so on. So by the third week, after the third week, I was moving. And I had a girlfriend driving down with me. I made her eat when I ate. and so when I got here, I'm thinking all of a sudden, some of my clothes are fitting a little better. And I unpacked the scale. And that's when I thought, now I'm going to see, because I think I'm losing some weight. And sure enough, I lost, because I didn't know where I exactly started. I lost anywhere from 13 to 15 pounds, really the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so this works. And then I understand, based on the sheet that you gave of what you can and can't eat, that's really what I followed. And I tried to eat just one meal a day. And I still pretty much do that. If I'm a little hungry, I snack on something. If I'm golfing now and I'm hungry when we're playing, I'll bring nuts or, olives or just something to hold me over until I have that meal. But I've hit my goal pretty much. So I feel okay doing that.
Yeah. And this kind of becomes a self-study. It looks different for everyone. You have to understand from a scientific standpoint, how does your body react? How does your metabolism react to certain foods? How does your body react to certain frequency of eating certain foods? So it is a little bit of a science experiment. Once you find it, it's really actually kind of fun. It can be kind of addicting because you start to see this really consistent weight loss. Some people hit their goals really quickly and, like you, go into a maintenance mode. So tell us, what did maintenance look like for you?
Well, maintenance is, what I have every morning. And I still have that, and I still lost weight. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but because it's really not supposed to work, but it did.
But no, we can talk about it. Go ahead, tell them what it is.
Okay, so I love McDonald's frappes. I have one every morning, and it really holds me over until either I eat around between 3 to 5 is really when I try to eat. But for maintenance, generally what I'll have is a little bit at noon or 1 if I'm hungry, and I'll just have some protein and one of those, Rhonda pointed out, those cheese or egg wraps with some cheese in it, or, little something to hold me over, and olives. I love olives. Until I have a meal usually between 3:30 and 5 now. And I just have what you say. It's the 60% fat, protein, 20 protein and carbs. What I really liked about the program, it was, okay, I can follow that. I don't have to go in and a phone, because I don't like reading on the phone. How many calories is this? How many calories this or this going to have? That just never worked for me. And so this was just so easy. And, so that's what I'll do. And I have the same things generally that you tend to eat, because I live, it's just me. So it's easier because I can do just what I want. And then I get, sometimes, now that I'm making friends here, I go out to eat and it doesn't always fit with my program. And sometimes I go up 2 pounds. I'm like, I hardly ate anything. But then 2 days later, now I'm back down to where I was again. So you just move back into your maintenance mode. And that's really what it is. I'll have like a little snacky lunch, and then I'll have the dinner. And that's really what my maintenance is.
Yeah. Okay. So that is such a good illustration of what a protocol looks like. So a protocol, for those of you who don't know, is created from the foods that fuel you. So we do some kind of experimenting on what actually fuels you, what makes you feel good, physically, mentally, emotionally, metabolically. And it's combined with a frequency, how often you eat, how long the period of time is between your meals. So Jan was able to still have something that she loves. So you'll hear me say, you don't have to give everything up. That's only part, food for fuel is only part of the equation. So Jan did not want to give up her frappes in the morning, but what we adjusted was the frequency. So we also adjusted the food or the macronutrients on during the time that she was eating a meal, but we spent a little bit more time focusing on the frequency at which she ate so that she could keep something that she really loved as part of her protocol. And it worked. And so then she got into maintenance. Now she has a really solid understanding of what these protocols look like, how she can manipulate them to maintain her weight if she goes up, maybe after a vacation or, a girls' weekend. She knows exactly what she needs to do to get right back on track. And now that she's fat adapted, it's very easy to do. Any comments on that, Jan?
No, I think that's true. One of the things that you guys do, you do the fat burner resets and so on. You know what? I don't do those. I probably would benefit me to do it, but I don't want to not eat for 48 hours. That's just me, but I can still maintain it, but I try to eat, so the sauerkraut. So I've kind of added that in, I listen to what everybody is saying and I'll try to bring some of those things in, but I always try to eat within the 8-hour period or less so I can fast longer. I don't always hit it right, but then I try to go back to it. So.
Yeah. It's a kind of a compounded effect. People will take away from the lessons that we have to offer, and they will put together their own protocol. And that, you guys, is what makes it sustainable, is the fact that it's a protocol created by you for you. That's what's sustainable. I'm not sitting here feeding you a script or a list for you to check the boxes. You have to understand through trial and error what works for you. And then with our guidance, we'll have you try new things. So we have what we call a metabolic assessment so that you have an understanding of maybe what you're symptomatic of so that we can introduce different types of eating protocols. Like Jan just mentioned, the fat burner reset, that one is specifically created for the people who have plateaued or who have stopped losing weight that still want to lose weight. But we also have a detox reset for the people who are toxic, people who are showing heavy metal toxins or environmental toxins, symptoms of those things. So you have to know what it is that you're trying to achieve so that you can curate the protocol that's going to best serve you. So like I said, Jan is a beautiful illustration of that. So Jan, what would you say to somebody who is saying, I maybe don't have a lot of weight to lose. I just want to, feel better in my clothes. I'm not sure that it's worth the investment if that's all I'm looking to achieve. What would you say to that person?
Yeah, I would say there's more to it really than just that weight loss. It's how you feel. It's how much. I'd always be tired at 3:30 in the afternoon. I am never tired until I'm ready to go to bed at night. Granted, I might go to bed early, but I get up early. And that's fine because then the day's over anyway. But I never get tired. It's worth it because if you can't figure out how to do it, I couldn't believe, and I still don't believe how well it worked. I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, my clothes, I've had clothes taken in and they still don't fit. They're still too big. So, I'm going to go home and sometime in May and I know where to shop. I'm going to go shopping again. But it really, first I was like, oh, the money, I'm moving. I've got to get furniture. There's things I'm doing to the house. I just don't know about it. But I thought I really wanted to lose the weight. And I really can't believe that I could. And it's so easy. And who would have thought that eating more fat actually helps you lose weight? And it's good. I mean, it's stuff that you like to eat. So I would say, give it a try. I think you have a guarantee anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Personally, I believe, and because I have worked with so many women at this point, that I'm so convicted in the fact that there is no better investment than into your metabolic health, into your immunity. Like, if you don't have your health mentally, physically, metabolically, you really don't have anything. So the fact that Jan made the decision to invest in herself, even when she had all of these other expenses, there was a big difference. The move, the furniture, all of that stuff was an expense, but the other was an investment. It was an investment in her health that is going to pay dividends in the future. She now is equipped with exactly how to stay in a fat burning mode. She's equipped with how to keep boosting her immunity. She's equipped on how to manipulate protocols so that if there's things she doesn't want to give up, she doesn't have to. She knows that there's another side to that coin that could be manipulated. So I have a lot of ladies coming into this program going, do I have to give up the wine? Do I have to give up my frappe in the morning? The answer is no, but it also depends on what it is that you're looking to achieve. I always ask you that. What is it that you're looking to achieve? If you're willing to maybe move at a little bit of a slower pace, you don't have to give those things up. You can still lose weight. There's just another side of the coin that we're going to really focus in on. And those are the things that we'll start to manipulate. And we do it in a really healthy way. So thank you, Jan. Is there anything else that you want to mention?
Well, I think your program that's behind you is important. And, I know it's there and I can always dive deeper into that. But, because now I'm retired, I'm not under a lot of stress. I don't have a, big family to, that I have to worry about or concern myself with. So I haven't spent as much time on that. But I think, no other program offers anything like that. Because it's more than just how can I lose the weight? It's, it's the why behind it too, that you support.
Yeah. Most people want to feel differently. They want to lose weight because they think that that's what's going to make them happy. This is such a comprehensive program that you're going to really understand that happiness is actually available to you right now. It's through your thinking. And this is the mind math that I teach that through. This is the vehicle that helps you better understand that. But more importantly, it helps you understand why you've gotten the results that you're now experiencing. Like, that's key. Everybody wants to know, what do I need to do differently? The very first step is the awareness as to how you've gotten to where you're at. And most people, it's through a belief that they've been fed. It's information that they've been fed and they've adopted as a belief that was wrong. It was wrong. It was an error. And so we kind of need to undo that first. And so self-coaching is a huge component of this. I always tell people I'm a coach that starts on the T line where most other coaches start on the A line. They're all about action. I'm all about your thinking. So, but that being said, it's there for the taking. It's just another component of the program. And some people pick it up and run with it. And other people, they use it as needed. So I appreciate that perspective as well. Anything else that you'd like to share?
No, I think it's great. As I say, I'm still just amazed. And I love how I feel and how I look. And, as I was saying to you, I've lost so much weight and I'm jiggling. I never used to jiggle. So I have to get back into the strength training. But that part's, that's easier than losing the weight, I think. So.
Yeah. So now we're on to toning. Yep.
Yes. Next step.
It's all real. It's real. Problems are real, but we can overcome them all. There is a solution to everything. It's like being your best advocate, going out, doing the research, figuring out what's going to work for you. So there's a solution to that as well. So I will say the high fat diets really help with that. Getting into autophagy, which is something else that you learn through this program, really helps with any sort of sagging skin. But those are all things that you get to learn about. So Jan, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a success story. We have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you and to watch you move across the country and there and be very jealous of your background. Thank you so much for your time today. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.